everyone, and welcome back to another Tahar Talks episode. We dive deep today into the world of Formula One as we explore the thrilling resurgence of two legendary teams, McLaren and Ferrari.
So, as the 2024 season has come to an end, we analyze their performance, notable wins, podium finishes, key upgrades throughout the season, and what means for the championship landscape moving forward. So, before we go into this episode, I would like to tell everyone that Prisha's favorite driver is the Carlos Sainz.
Excuse me, it's not about. Okay, whatever. I'm not even going to deny it.
And our road field is filled with it.
Okay, but before we begin, let's take a dive into each one of these teams' histories and how legendary they truly are, starting with McLaren.
McLaren Racing was founded by New Zealander Bruce McLaren in 1963. They entered the first Formula One race in 1966 and secured their first win in 1968 in the Belgium Grand Prix. McLaren won the first Constructors' Championship in 1974 with Emerson Fittipaldi winning the Drivers' Championship.
So all McLaren fans would know that the 1980s to the 1990s were McLaren's golden years, with legendary drivers like Niki Lauda, Alain Prost, and Ayrton Senna leading the team to numerous championships. In 1988, Senna and Prost won 15 out of 16 races, making it one of the most dominant seasons in F1 history.
So right now on Netflix, there's a series come out which is on Senna, and it shows that what an amazing driver he was. I would recommend any F1 lover to watch the series.
And we all know that Micah Hakkinen won back-to-back Drivers' Champions in 1998 and 1999.
In 2008, Lewis Hamilton won the Drivers' Championship. Despite facing challenges during the 2015 to 2017 Honda engine era, McLaren remains a fierce competitor today, with drivers like Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri.
Now let's take a look at F1's rich history. Scuderia Ferrari, the oldest and the most successful team in Formula One, was founded by Enzo Ferrari in 1929 as a racing team for Alfa Romeo. They entered Formula One in 1950 in the inaugural season of the championship, and they won their very first World Champion Grand Prix in 1951, as the British Grand Prix was their first Drivers' Championship in 1952 with Alberto Ascari.
So, do you know who is Michael Schumacher?
No.
He is one of the greatest legends in F1 history till date.
Who is he?
He has won seven championships, driver championships altogether. And right now, Lewis Hamilton is equal to it.
Yeah.
And he might beat, let's see. So, as you know, Lewis Hamilton is entering
Ferrari. Yeah.
So, in 1917, Niki Lauda secured two drivers' championships in 1975 and 1977. The Michael Schumacher era in the early 2000s marked Ferrari's most dominant period, with Schumacher winning 5 constructive drivers' championships from 2000 to 2004.
Ferrari has also secured 6 consecutive Constructors' Championships during this time. Recently, with drivers like Sebastian Vettel, Charles Leclerc, and Carlos Sainz, Ferrari has continued to be a formidable force in F1.
So, it's been an exhilarating season, hasn't it? After a few challenging years, both McLaren and Ferrari have shown remarkable improvement, making their 2024 season one of the most competitive in recent memory.
McLaren has made significant strides this year thanks to a combination of strategic decisions, technical upgrades, and renewed focus on driver development. The partnership with the new technical director Rob Marshall has paid off, leading to a more competitive car than any other frontrunners.
So one of the standout moments for McLaren this season was the Miami Grand Prix. With a yellow flag in the 28th lap, Lando Norris into the pits holding on to the first place and the lead race from the first of the remaining 24 laps. With this, Lando Norris clinched his first stunning victory and also marking McLaren's first victory in the season.
Lando Norris is another driver I like a lot. But this win not only showcased their pace, but also highlighted their ability to execute race strategies effectively. The team's decision to switch to a two-stop strategy in the latter stages of the race proved crucial, allowing them to capitalize on tire performance.
And let's not forget their consistency. As you know, McLaren has been in the middle order throughout and has been one of the tough competitors, which is giving Ferrari a chance, or let's say Mercedes for some extent, like little extent, but not so much. McLaren has secured multiple podium finishes, with both drivers regularly finishing in the top 5. Notably, Oscar Piastri finished second in the Italian Grand Prix, demonstrating their ability to compete under pressure. This consistency has allowed them to climb over the Constructors' Championship standing, making them a serious contender of the title.
Now, let's shift gears and talk about Ferrari. The pun was intended. The Scuderia has also experienced a renaissance this season. After a few years of ups and downs, they've returned to form a car that combines both speed and reliability.
So Ferrari's stand-up performance came during the Australian Grand Prix, with Carlos Sainz took the win and proved that they are back in the mix. Another notable performance came after Charles Leclerc during the Monaco Grand Prix, where delivered a masterclass in racecraft, taking the win. Their ability to adapt changing conditions and making strategic calls has been impressive. The team's decision to pit early during a rain shower allowed them to gain crucial track position during the Monaco Grand Prix.
Additionally, Ferrari has shown remarkable teamwork this season. The energy between the drivers Charles and Carlos and the pit crew has been evident, leading to fewer mistakes and more successful pit stops. This has been crucial in tight races where every second counts. For instance, as the United States Grand Prix, their flawless pit stop strategy allowed them to leapfrog competitors and secure the phenomenal Ferrari 1 and 2 podium.
So now Carlos Sainz is leading Ferrari, and do you know what Ferrari gifted him?
What?
They-
Ferrari, I know.
Yeah, they gifted him literally a car to show their appreciation.
Yeah.
So now, as the season progressed, both teams made key upgrades that significantly impacted the performance. McLaren introduced a major aerodynamic package at the Belgium Grand Prix, which improved their downforce and concerning speed. The upgrade was pivotal in their ability to compete with the likes like Red Bull Racing.
Meanwhile, Ferrari focused on refining their power unit, which resulted in improved straight line speed.
So, what does this mean for the championship landscape? With both McLaren and Ferrari stepping up their game, the competition at the top is intensified. However, despite the impressive performance, Max Verstappen and Red Bull Racing continue to dominate the championship. Max's consistency and ability to capitalize on every opportunity allowed him to secure his third consecutive title even as McLaren and Ferrari pushed him to the limits.
Max victories at key races where he showcased his exceptional skill in tire management solidified his position at the top. His ability to fend off challenges from both McLaren and Ferrari, especially during the latter part of the season, was a testament to his own racing prowess and the strength of the Red Bull Racing team. But the question still lurks over every single one of us. Who will take the 2025 championship? Well,
For Trisha, it's a tough question. Lando Norris or Carlos Sainz?
please. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning into this episode today, and we hope to see you back in the next episode too.